Hello people of the internet, it's Lindy and Dusty here, and today I thought I would make a flip side to the video that I made the other day about things I don't like about living in China. I'm going to talk today about things I do like about living in China, and the first thing, wins the contest, #1 hands down, is the cost of living. Here I make about $1,000 a month, and I also get to live in this apartment for free, and they pay about $50 towards lights, towards gas, towards water, and that's normally totally fine, and I don't have to pay anything else. And with the $1,000 I make, I cut it in half, and $500 I will put in an account to save for retirement, for down payment on a house when I get back, for just stuff. The other $500 I use for food for me, food for the hedgehogs, if I want to go out to dinner with friends, just stuff like that. I made another video where I go and I find random things in my house and I tell you how much they cost. So if you want to look at that to get an idea of what things cost in China, you could do that. But I think it's totally reasonable, the cost of living here. I've come to realize the United States is stupid expensive, and I'm going to need a really high-paying job if/when I go back, because I don't know how I'm going to do it after living in China. But just for example, if I were to go out to dinner with some friends and we were to go to a nice restaurant and get like a main dish, appetizers, drinks, it's probably going to be about $10 to $15 a person if we were to split it up evenly. Whereas in the United States, I think it would maybe be like $50 a person. So yeah, it just makes living a lot easier. And I am not working like a dog in order to afford this. My contract says I get the house, I get the money, and I get pretty much any medical care that I need here, and I just have to work less than 20 hours a week to get it, which is pretty cool. In America, I don't think you could do that unless you were like, I don't know, being a prostitute or something, to work 20 hours a week and be able to live comfortably. I just think that's really cool, and that's something I really like about living here. Something else I like about living here is the ease of public transportation. And I guess to preface this, I lived in Wisconsin in a town of 7,000 people that was kind of like in the wooded area, and you needed a car if you wanted to leave your house. Like to go to the grocery store, you need a car. To go to work, you need a car. To go to a friend's house, you need a car. To basically do anything, you need a car. Here, there's buses everywhere. If you want to get on an air-conditioned one, it's going to cost you 2 renminbi, so about 32 cents. If you can tough it out and stand the heat, you can do it for 16 cents. I actually have a little bus card where you prepay, and that knocks 20% off the cost of the bus ride. So I just think that's super easy. You can get anywhere you want in town if you get on the bus. If like you really don't want to get on the bus or you're in a hurry, you can get in a cab, and that costs you 7 renminbi to get in, and then you can get to the other side of town for about $4 and change. So that's super reasonable. If you want to go to another city, that's really easy too. There's trains here, and in the United States, in a small town, we really don't have those. I was explaining to a Chinese friend that you can take the train to Chicago from Milwaukee, but there's no train in my town. There's no train even in my county. You have to go to Milwaukee County. And she was like amazed. But here, if I want to go to Xi'an or something, you can get on the slow train, and that's going to cost you a little less than $5, and in about 2.5 hours you'll be there. If time is a concern, you can take the fast train, and it's a bit more expensive, but you'll be there in an hour. If you want to go to like Beijing or somewhere, you could take the fast train, and it's going to cost you about $100. But yeah, never once here have I been like, oh my god, I wish I had a car. That would make my life so much easier. No, you can totally do it without a car. And I think that's pretty cool. Something else I like about living here is the way people stand behind their products. In the United States, I've had to make returns on things, and they want your driver's license. They want you to fill out this whole big long list of what was wrong with whatever it was, and sometimes they don't even take it, or there's a huge wait, or there's a ton of rules, like you have to have it back within a certain day. No, here they do not care. They do not care. There is a little store by my house, and it's a Vanguard's, and you can just take something back if you have the receipt. Okay, have the receipt, have the item. Okay, they take it back, they give you your money, no questions asked. other little stores I've been to, there was the place where I bought my fish tank, and the fish tank came with like a filter, and there was some cotton in there. It goes like cotton, rocks, more cotton, and I took that out to clean it, and the cotton just like disintegrated in my hand. And I went to the store and I was explaining, hey, the cotton fell apart. Would it be possible for me to buy some more? They just gave me more for free. I offered to pay for it and they wouldn't take my money. And I've noticed that's kind of Chinese culture here. I do cross stitch, and sometimes I'll just buy like a big one on clearance, like a big kit, and then I take it apart and I use the stitches, not the stitches, the string. I don't know why I said that. I'll just use the string and the cloth to make whatever I want. Like, for example, this is the current work in progress. He's so cute. But yeah, or sometimes I'll follow the kit, and I've had it where I've run out of string, and I just went back there with the string and the kit, and I said, hey, I don't have enough to finish the product. Would it be possible to buy some more of this color? And they'll just give you more for free. And I think that's pretty cool that people here will stand behind their product, and if it's not working, they give it to you for free. I think people in the United States should take note of that. But while we're talking about products, something else I really like here is they don't have people on stuff where there shouldn't be people. I know in the United States we get kind of obsessed with celebrities, and I'm not really convinced that's a good thing. Like, I remember one time going to the Home Depot with my dad, and I saw they had Miley Cyrus back when she was Hannah Montana on a lampshade. I really don't think you need Miley Cyrus on a lampshade. I think that's kind of weird. Also, when the little kids go to swim class and they put their towels over the thing. When I was little, I remember they had Britney Spears towels, and I think that's kind of weird to be wiping a celebrity's face like all over yourself. I just think that's weird. And little keychains, like to take them with you, I think that's weird. They don't do that here, and I think that's pretty cool. A band here that's kind of a big deal is TF Boys, and they do sell popsicles. It's getting kind of hot out, and the stores have put out their little ice cream carts, and you see the TF Boys going like with the ice cream, like selling ice cream, and okay, fine, whatever, I get it. Celebrity endorsements, they work, and if it works, why not try it? And I've seen like my students have little stickers with the TF Boys on them, and I've seen like a pen with the TF Boys on them, but that's it. There's no TF Boys underwear. There's no TF Boys like hygiene products, and I think that's good. Like, you don't need people's faces on stuff, and you shouldn't be that obsessed with celebrities, and I think that gives kids a more healthy idea of what normal is. And I've noticed with the kids too, they actually get to be kids. Yeah, they do study a lot, but they're not overly sexualized like the kids are in the United States. You don't see the little girls dressing like they're prostitutes. You don't see the child beauty pageants here, and I think that's really good for them. And in the summer, like, these are little kids that aren't potty trained. I guess babies is probably a more accurate word. They have these split pants where their little private parts are just kind of hanging out, and they do that. So if they're not potty trained and they just need to go, they just find a bush or like a little tree or something and they just go potty. And I mentioned in my other video, I think that's kind of gross that there's wee and poo everywhere. But at the same time, that's maybe not horrible because they don't worry about people hurting kids. That they're just little kids. They just go potty and they just kind of do what they do. Same thing with like society putting pressure on them to grow up too fast. I have 11 and 12-year-olds. They're still little girls, and that makes me really happy for them. During their breaks, they're not paper dolls, but they're like sticker dolls where you can stick them on your notebook, and they have clothes that you can like pull on and take off, and they're stickers. My little girls, they still play with that, and I'm so happy they get to be little girls, because I remember being that age, and if you were like 9 or 10 and you were still playing with Barbie or Bratz, that was something you kept to yourself. But no, they play together. They're little girls. That's great. Zootopia just came out, and I have my 13, 14-year-olds telling me that they really like the movie, who their favorite character is, and I'm so happy that their childhood isn't just like ripped away from them. I'm glad they get to be kids. I know there's a lot of studying and they complain about their homework, but I think studying beats sexualization any day. And while I'm talking about them not being sexualized, something in the United States that drove me freaking crazy is PDA. In high school, there would be people making out like, like, you see what I'm doing with my fingers? I'm like, oh my God, like, you make me come to school. I seriously don't need to see that. At the malls, like just out in public, PDA makes me really, really uncomfortable. even watching movies, it's like, yay, like you're together, you're happy, okay, like please stop kissing each other, please stop doing that. Ugh, that just makes me uncomfortable. And here they don't do that, and that's wonderful. I've seen some people like hugging of opposite sex pairs waiting for the bus, but that's far and few between, and I understand we're mammals, we need contact or else we get kind of weird, and I think that's fine. But the PDA stuff, I don't know what they do in their house, and I don't want to know what they do in their house. And I do teach at a school. It's sort of like a Chinese answer to Kumon or Sylvan, where they come to me after their regular school for extra help. And maybe they do that in high school. I would be very, very, very surprised if they did. But I just think that's really good that they're not all over each other. But it's not like touching isn't allowed. You see girls, they do this thing where they walk down the street and they'll like hold each other's arms or they hold hands, and I think that's really cute and that's fine. And even when they grow up, like grown-ass women do that too. And yeah, I just think that's cool that you don't have to be like making out with somebody to feel good about yourself. And I guess my last thing, and I'm not sure like what you'd categorize this in, maybe just like how are you doing that, are the animals here. Do I love Dusty? Yes, I do, but I don't need to take him for walks like you would a dog. Here people do walk their dogs, and it's crazy. I've never seen a dog on a leash. They somehow just know to stay by their owners, and they don't run out like, oh my god, like must sniff this poop on the ground, must sniff this person, must like run across the road. No, they don't. They just stay by their humans, and I have no clue how Chinese people train dogs and get them to do that. I think it's crazy. I've never had a dog like run up to me for pets, and I totally wouldn't care. I like animals, but they're just really, really well trained, and people will carry them around in their purses and stuff, and they don't make a scene. There was a time in a restaurant where I did not notice until I was halfway through my meal because it moved its head that this lady had a dog in her purse, and it was just sitting there totally chill while she's eating her food, did not make a peep. And that's not just some freak dog. That's the norm here, that they're all really well trained. And I'm not sure how people do that, but I think that's really cool. So that's, I guess, the stuff that was on the top of my head about cool stuff in China that I like about living here. If I get enough for another big list, I'll make a part 2 of this video. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about life in China, you can leave it in the comments and I'll answer. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye-bye.